Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back at it again, and today we're going to be looking at Star Wars The Black Series, Count Dooku. So, getting into him, you can see the figure in the box. He's got his cloth cape, his nice curved hilt of the lightsaber. You can actually see his accessory over here. That is the swinging effect for his lightsaber. You get a nice image of Christopher Lee, the actor who portrayed him, Count Dooku. You got your warnings for small parts, ages worn up. Top of the box is black. Bottom of the box, you got some legalese, your barcodes, standard stuff. On the side here, because this is the older style packaging, you've got 107 Count Dooku. On the back, you've got Star Wars The Black Series 107. Count Dooku was a menacing Sith Lord and central figure in the Clone Wars. Once a Jedi, he became disillusioned with the Jedi Order and thirsted for greater power. You've got another image of Christopher Lee there. More warnings. They really want to get across that they're small parts, so please don't stick it in your mouth. Well, that pretty much does it for the packaging. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. This is the re-release of this figure, since I missed it the first time. Came in a couple days. Pre-order took a long while, but he's actually up in stock now. So if you guys want to head over there, you know what to do. Alright, so getting into Darth Tyrannus here. I think Hasbro did a really excellent job on this one, actually. In my opinion, it blows the SH Figure Arts one out of the water. Based on pure look alone, the brown is much more accurate. It's a nice dark chocolatey color. The cloak was executed a lot better. It actually kind of flows with the material they chose, instead of, if you've guys seen, the SH Figure Arts cape is really thick with a wire, and it doesn't really like to do anything. The size is fantastic. The articulation does everything you need it to. And let's talk about this face sculpt for a minute, because this thing is just beautiful. They've captured Christopher Lee's likeness basically to a T. And, the actor passed, and I think this is a nice little monument to his legacy. Dude played a lot of characters in pop culture. He played Saruman. He was Dracula, which is another little hint that George Lucas made when he created the character of Count Dooku, because, as many of you probably know, Christopher Lee played Count Dracula in the old horror movies. So getting into it, we'll start with articulation. So Count Dooku, his head is on a ball joint at the top of the neck, and then the bottom of the neck is also at a ball joint, like Hasbro's been doing with their Black Series stuff for a while. So he can look down about that far. He can look up about straight, but he's a duelist. He needs to be focused. He does have nice tilt on each side. So when Anakin's wising off to him in a duel or something, he can get a little muffed. Moving the cloak back here, you can see that his arms will go 360. They come out about that far. He does have butterfly joints, which is always very handy, especially on dueling characters. So butterfly joints move nice and well. Pretty good range there. Elbows are on a single joint, but with a deep cut like the Black Series has been doing for a long time, so it goes up past 90. It does have a swivel at the elbow. For the wrists, as all lightsaber-wielding characters should, his wrists are hinged up and down, and then they have a swivel. On this wrist, it is actually different. So on this wrist, it has a swivel, and it goes in and out. His torso is on a diaphragm joint, so it's just a little ball joint down there. Get a nice rotation out of that. His legs go up that far. The skirt is split down the sides, so that way it doesn't get in the way of articulation. His legs go out that far, so for even an older guy, he's still kind of spry. He can get into it. At a sidekick pose, Could be still kicking some Jedi in the chin if he needs to. He does have a thigh swivel. And then his knees are on a single joint. This is when they started with the single joint technology in the knees, when they were trying that. So we've got a nice knee cover. And as poor Foosh Robo, he can no longer kick his ass. But it honestly looks really good, and it performs what it needs to do for a Star Wars action figure, especially a character like this. I think it works just fine. So, no biggie there. He does have a swivel at the knee. And then he has ankle articulation that goes back pretty much all the way. Goes forward that far. And then you do get a nice ankle rocker. So for accessories, I want to start off with his cape actually this time, because I think they did a much better job of it than Figuarts did. So the cape does have the lighter brown color on the inside of the cloth, so I'm not sure whether side is stained, but I like what they did with it. They kept it nice and thin. It sits on his shoulders the way it's supposed to. It drapes, it can get out of the way. It does what it needs to, and it does it well. The cape, the chain, is actually just a gray plastic, so it would have been nice to see that picked out in silver. But, you know, it's not the worst thing ever. The chain is actually glued to the torso, and then the cape is pinned with each side, so the cape also pins into the torso on each side. So that's not gonna, you know, fall off, go anywhere. The only thing is, for you Clone Wars guys, if you want to have Count Dooku capeless, like he appeared in the Clone Wars many, many times, you'll have to do a little bit of modification. You'll probably have to patch a couple of holes with Sculpt if you really want a seamless look, but I don't know why you want to take off the cape. The cape looks good, and it gives him a nice bit of flair. So as you can see, for his first accessory, pretty much his only accessory, is his curved hilt lightsaber. And that can just peg onto his belt. We'll get him standing there. So for his lightsaber, you've got the nice curved hilt. Hasbro's been doing a really good job with these lightsabers, in my opinion. You got the nice silver picked out. You even have the texture of the grip on there. And then you've got his nice little red ignition switch. Pommel's got all, you know, bolts and nuts on it. A little black peg to stick onto his belt, which is, you know, not a problem. Nice little flourish at the end of his emitter there. And, of course, you can have his lightsaber blade. Plugs right in, nice and snug. Another thing I want to point out with these Hasbro figures is the pegs that they've used for these lightsaber blades are really nice. If you remember back in the day, the vintage collection figures would have lightsabers that would pull out. Well, more of the, I guess it would be the Empire, not the Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith figures. A lot of those Jedi would have lightsabers with little tiny pegs, and they would just break all the time, especially if you're a little kid playing with them. It's gone, it's over. But these pegs, they do a really nice job of making them nice and sturdy for collectors who like to pose around their figures and do a bunch of stuff with them. Saber fits perfectly in his hand, not gonna go anywhere. He's got a nice firm grip on it. You know. And Christopher Lee's signature style of his fencing style. So he holds his lightsaber very well in the nice curved grip. Fits perfectly in his hand. His finger even lines up with his ignition switch. So, you know, looks really good. You can even get him in his signature starting duel stance, which everybody loves to see. But another thing with this lightsaber that I honestly think is pretty cool, and I wish they would implement with more Jedi and Sith characters alike, is you can remove that blade. And he actually comes with a second blade attachment. So this blade is molded to give the after effect of him swinging the lightsaber. And it's got a really nice fade here. So you've got the nice vibrant blade color. So you can see that's where the blade is. Nice and dark there. Next to that one. And then it fades into a more just clear translucent plastic. So it gives the nice effect that he's swinging it. And, you know, that's a nice touch. Hasbro coming out with surprises. I think as collectors, we like to see when they try something new like that. And it's definitely a nice addition, at least for me. So if you want him swinging at perhaps a young Skywalker's limb, you can have that nice effect going on. Act like he's dueling somebody. The blade is a little bit heavier, so you might have variation with how he will hold up with the blade on. But I don't seem to be having any problems. I know the first batch of these figures, some people had problems with the wrists with this blade. And they are a little bit loose, but they're still holding up pretty well, so you can have him do that. That's a very nice touch, in my opinion. Kind of, you know, gives it a little extra bang for your buck. One thing I do wish that this figure came with is, as you all know, Count Dooku is one of the first times you see Force Lightning be used, like, timeline-wise. Obviously, you know, the Emperor uses Force Lightning. I know that, guys. I know. But timeline-wise, for the films at least, because obviously expanded lore and all that, I know that too. I promise. But in the films, this is the earliest character you actually see use Force Lightning, and especially in the Clone Wars, he uses it quite a lot. I would have liked to see something where the, like the Black Series Emperor had, where you could swap out maybe one of his hands and have a, you know, Force Lightning effect. That would have been nice. But for everything you get here, I think it's quite worth $20. Even $22, maybe even $25, because, you know, the face painting tech, Hasbro's come a very long way very quickly. And in my opinion, a lot of their face prints actually beat out SH Figuarts nowadays. SH Figuarts still has their bangers. You know, they still have their strong figures, but especially at this price point, it's just, in my opinion, way better than the SH Figuarts one is in pretty much every way, except for accessories. I'm guessing that's the only place that the SH Figuarts could beat this one out. So we will get some comparisons going in here. We will start with a B1 Battle Droid. And these guys are pretty tall. But, you know, the droid army that he was building on Geonosis, this just happens to be a Battlefront 2 version from the Gaming Greats series, but it does the job. Coming in with another comparison here, we'll have him with the Sith Lord that replaced him, Darth Vader. And as you can see, Lord Vader is also a pretty tall guy, pretty menacing. Also a lot bulkier. And just because we can, go ahead and take Vader out of here. Put him with the Second Sister Inquisitor. I know, they never interacted. But, it's something to compare to. I don't have a lot of the Star Wars collection yet. I'm kind of picking up the pieces. We can go ahead and compare him to Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars Season 7. Since this is Anakin's Padawan, and they've had a couple of good run-ins. So, she looks pretty good stacked up to him. Nice and short, nice and thin, the way she's supposed to. For one last one, just because, give him a Jedi to duel, here is the Black Series Cal Kestis. Still waiting on that Gaming Greats version to come out, but I think that looks pretty good. So if you want him dueling a Jedi, you know, Cal Kestis could fit in there. But yeah, all in all, guys, I like this figure a lot. I think Hasbro did a really good job with him. And if you missed this guy on the first time around, Big Bad Toy Store has his reissue up live right now. And I think it's definitely worth the money. You guys should pick it up. And just to close this out, because, you know, we have to, this channel and all of the content on it is not for anyone under the age of 13 years old. These are for adult collectors, and that is all. Hate to do it, guys, but you know it has to be done. Hope y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there, everybody.